So what up, dongers? I'm here with Imsohumble and Sith Holocron, and we have a new patch note coming up. And this time we will be going through all the changes like last time. And so let's just jump into them. Or do you want to say something before we start, guys?
Not really.
Great. Maybe a joke.
No, my jokes only have good punchlines.
Okay, so our theme was hit. Heimerdinger. We start with Heimerdinger. He is nothing changed on the card, right? Just the turrets got changed.
Yeah. They swapped around a bit.
Yeah. And the main thing about that was the elusive stuff, right? So they kind of nerfed it. We have the MK3 is now an Apex turret. It's fearsome 3-1. We have the MK4 Stormlobber. It's Overwhelm 4-1, and the MK6 now is the Floor Be Gone. 6-1 elusive. What do you think?
Big nerf for the elusives. Fearsome is still quite good for 3-1, but it's obviously a big nerf. That's my take on it. Otherwise,
I agree. You couldn't spam like 4-3-3-1 elusive things and hit for 12, and then lose one maybe, and then put out another 3, and the game's over.
Okay. Yeah, like the fearsome is rough, but most decks have things that has like 3 health at some point, but some decks just can't deal with elusive, and if that happens, you have auto loss against Heimer. So some of the negative play experience gets disappeared there, even though like the fearsome turrets are still kind of good. And I think they hit the Flash of Brilliance as well. We'll
get to that.
Later. And I think that combined with this is a big nerf to the deck. That's probably the biggest nerf in my opinion, the Flash of Brilliance. But this is a nerf, and they want to tune him down.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear when we went through everything, if you think that will change the S tier of Heimerdinger. Okay, so the next thing.
Spoilers. It does.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hard.
Okay. Good. So the next thing which was changed again is Braum. He goes back to 0, which is a good thing, I guess. And Braum on the second level still has the 1/6. So they have some arguments, and I think that's a good thing what they did here. Imsohumble.
I like the fact.
Sorry, Sith. Yeah.
I really like the fact that his new keywords, like his change of the card text, is the same as the buff version. So the first time he survives damage, he gets a Mighty Poro. That's decent. But the 1-5 into a 2-6 is horrible. I think this is what Braum is in the lore. He doesn't really do very much. He just gets Poros and lets them do all the work. So fluff-wise, it's pretty good, and I'm glad to drop the damage off. I think it makes him a more pure champion.
I think like he was too good, not broken too good. He was over the curve. So I think there is a lot of other things they should have hit before they touched Braum. But especially like I don't see the necessary nerf of the 2 damage he had as a level up. That I don't see. The 1 damage when he's just out there, that is fine. I think it's unnecessary to nerf him from the. He could have had 2 damage when he was level up. It's hard to level him up anyway.
Yeah, but all in all, it's reasonable.
It's reasonable for sure. Though I feel like he wasn't an issue. Like he didn't feel like he was breaking the meta anymore. I think that's based on earlier results. Many were moving away from Braum anyway right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, great. Okay, and then we have Anivia's Egg is a 0-1 now, not a 0-2 anymore.
Yeah.
So they want to hit the copy Anivia strategies with that change.
Does it really make any difference?
Yes.
Yeah, you have some damage spells, like where you create a spider that drains stuff, or for 5, hit everything for 1.
But the point is already to get her dead, right? So you can resurrect the dead one, isn't it? So it doesn't really matter if the egg dies or not.
Yeah.
Because the way I've heard and the way I've played against Anivia lately is like, don't kill it. Don't kill it, because then they can copy it. So I really think that this one doesn't do much. Like, it doesn't hit the problem with the multiple copies.
Yeah.
Really.
Do you not think that they put it from the 2 health down to 1, as Jan said? Because if you've got, okay, so you've killed it, you could have killed it with a unit. You could have a whole ton or 1 or 2, a mystic shot and it's gone. You can't copy it then. It's gone. It's completely gone. A Vile Face kills it.
Yeah.
There's so many things that kill it.
It doesn't. Like, for me, the issue with the deck was not that you couldn't kill the egg, because you already could kill the egg. They wanted you to kill the egg because they wanted to revive things. So I don't, and with the harrowing and stuff. So, like, it's a small nerf, I guess. Like, it's a small nerf, but I don't really think it changes the deck at all. Like, I don't think it hurts by that. Then it hurts more about the Braum.
Yeah, I think they want to go in small steps.
Yeah.
If it's
sure.
still an issue, they will take another step. And
I
maybe do something about how many Anivias you can have on the field, because that's actually the problem. If you have 2 or 3 or 4.
I feel like this is the wrong approach. They don't need to nerf the card Anivia. They need to nerf the
Effect.
Getting multiple copies of champions.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
When they hit that, when they finally fix that, they're gonna need to buff Anivia pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. She's with the egg. She's still hard to kill. You need to do a spell to kill the egg if you want to kill both. So let's.
So it's a small nerf. It doesn't address the issue, in my opinion, and that itself won't matter too much. That's my bet.
Yeah, it's a small thing.
Just that nerf,
And then we jump to Relentless Pursuit, which is not a fast spell anymore. It's a slow spell, since Illusion was strong in the last meta hours of the meta, right?
Yeah, I like the comment to it as well. Like, it was intended to be slow, and myself usually plays as a slow spell. Like, this one doesn't hurt too much. There is some instances it hurts, but I think this is a good one. This is a good, smart nerf.
Yeah. You can't.
I like it.
You can't rally in the opponent's round. That's the point, right?
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, that's the point.
And
But
usually you try to wait out all the spells anyway. So it's like 1 in 10 games. Maybe this one will become slightly worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. It's something I would put in nearly every Demacia deck at least 2 of. But I would always wait that my deny couldn't be, if there's deny mana out there, I don't cast it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Fast or slow doesn't matter when it comes.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So to me, this is like I don't mind it. I think it's more thematic because rallying is like getting the people together and going again. It should be slow. It shouldn't be something that's really quick. So I like it, but I don't think it's really changed how the card's going to get played.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll see about that.
It's a good change.
Yeah,
it's a good change.
Great, good to hear. So those were all nerfs. We saw not as many nerfs as we saw here. So let's look at the next one. Here's a buff already, and that's Arena Buki. He goes from cost 3 to cost 2, and health is increased by 1. So that's, for that card, it's a big nerf, big buff.
Yeah, Yeah, it's a big buff. I've never seen that card.
Yeah. I read it. What's that? What does it do? Yeah, it's discard
so
your
discard,
lowest. Sorry.
Your lowest card to draw one. So it's part of this whole discard thing that they're putting out in this patch. It's already been in the game. This is one of the cards that can do it. But I don't mind the mechanic. The mechanic's okay. But there are far better cards that are just spells that do this quicker and easier. So what if your lowest card is something you really want? So you can't play the card then? You know, to me it's too clunky. Even with the reduction in cost and the increase in power, I'll never put that card in my decks.
It just helps if you search for a special card, maybe.
Yeah, it has to search. You have to search for a high cost card then, or a medium cost card then, because it discards your lowest.
Yeah.
I think it's it's obviously a good buff. Like, I have never seen the card before. This might make people experiment with it. It's good if you try to find Jinx, I guess. Like, get your lowest and try to get Jinx as soon as possible. That's I guess how it's supposed to function as in that matter. So we'll see if that one pops in. The discard decks are not great now anyway, so why not try it?
Yep. Okay.
I genuinely think it's been done because Noxus has just been smashed.
Yeah, like
as we're about to see, this is just painful.
The Basilisk Rider is what you're talking about at first. Everything, right? Yeah. So the Basilisk Rider's power got decreased from 5 to 4. After his health got buffed, right? And now his power gets nerfed.
I would like to discuss the whole Noxus package that gets nerfed together, because I think so we can you can go through the Disciple and the Grenadier as well.
Yeah. Okay, so we have the Disciple, and it's the damage it deals is moved down to 1 from 2.
Yep.
And same with the Legion Grenadier, damage is moved down to 1 as well.
Yeah.
So did get a buff in health though, to 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's
so
accurate,
I think this is somewhat necessary, because Crimson Disciple has been running the meta for a long time, or parts of the meta at least. The problem here is aggro did not. Now the last couple of 1 or 2 weeks, people don't really play aggro in Masters anymore, because the late game decks are just too strong. So this is gonna mean there is absolutely not gonna be any aggro at all to play. So it's all gonna be late game. I get that this is good in that sense, that it is not nice that same cards are destroying the meta over and over, but it's gonna put the meta in a very boring state if you can't play aggro at all.
I think aggro will still be in the meta. I'm going to slightly disagree. I think we're going to see reincarnations of older aggro decks, like spiders. I think we're going to see things like that creep back in with newer cards, and when we get the new cards in the next couple of weeks, let's see what we get in this, and somebody will immediately come up with this brilliant aggro deck that jumps right back to the top of the meta again. It's not going to be Noxus.
When we get new cards, but until then, it's going to be dead. In high elo.
In high elo, I would agree. In my mid-table obscurity, aggro's everywhere.
Yeah, aggro is going to be a thing in the lower bracket, lower and mid bracket forever, because it's just straightforward. You get many games. It's nice to play aggro. But
yeah, the games are quick.
Yeah, the games are quick. You get more games, you get more experience. Everything is great with aggro if you don't have a full collection. So
yeah,
I think the Basilisk nerf was probably good, because apparently it became super strong. The Disciple was a little bit too hard.
I'd have to disagree. When you your last deck video where you said if you don't put Disciple into your deck, you have to have a reason. So if there's a card that has to be in every deck, it's just too good. It has to be nerfed.
Yeah, it is too good.
And what should they do? Should they put her to 2? Would be the same basically.
I think they should have done what they did now, but that she doesn't have to survive damage, because that means basically she just 3 damage with her life instead of 4 that she does now. So it's a slight nerf, and you can still play around. That's what because they like to go slow and steady. I think this one is a little bit rough, but I don't know. Maybe the Grenadier makes up for it, because he can now actually kill Omen Hawks without dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually very surprised it didn't hit the Demolitionist
instead of the Disciple, because she has a lot of love.
Yeah, she gets an awful lot of love, and the fact that Noxian Fervor would kill her, but Transfusion doesn't. So you can do all these ridiculous things, and if you team up Noxus with Freljord and you Elixir of Iron her, it's horrible. I mean, it's not going to make it. Yes, it's a good nerf and it needed it, but I don't think they went far enough with it. I would have reduced her health to 2, in addition to the deal only 1 now instead of the 2, and that would have hard off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then she would have been just gone.
Yeah. Simon wanted it harder nerf. I wanted a slight lighter nerf on her. That's nice.
Yeah, I don't know if
so
Yeah. Sorry.
Do we like this nerf or do we not like it?
I don't like it in the context of where it will leave the meta, but I think they needed to be touched, but they didn't touch so much else that they needed to do, so that makes it bad. But if they would have fixed a lot of other things, this would have been great.
I vote for yes. I like the nerf, but
overall, I like it. It needed something. It's not bad.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw. You talked about the not the Grenadier, the one that deals damage. What's the name again?
The Demolitionist.
The Demolitionist got removed from expeditions.
Oh,
you don't play expeditions, but I do, so I'm happy about that. No more Disciple combination. Disciple got removed as well, so that's good.
Okay, that's actually smart.
So let's continue, right?
Yeah.
We have Flash of Brilliance. We talked about that. It's up to 4 now from 3, so you lose mana when you play this spell.
That is the game changer that I think, combined with what they did up there, will not kill the Heimer deck, but will make it non-viable in high elo, at least.
I agree. Okay. I mean, it just made multiple free 3 spells.
Yeah.
You had 3 mana, whether it was spell mana or normal mana, it filled it up. If you had another one, you filled it up. If you had another one, you filled it up. Now you've got 9 elusive units.
I don't really mind the change. Heimer has been along for a long time, so that's fine. There needs to be different decks in the top of the meta, so it doesn't hurt me too much. But
isn't with Heimer, isn't it still a bonkers card? You produce a unit for free, and you get a spell for 1 mana.
And that's probably it's still good, but the difference is that before you could play a Flash of Brilliance on top of a Flash of Brilliance with only 3 mana.
You can't round 5 anymore, right? Yeah.
So you can just round 5 Heimer. You could basically get 3-in-1 turrets.
Yeah.
And even if they would be fearsome, that would be good. But now you can't do that. You could actually get 4 if you had 3 Flash of Brilliance. But so I think the high ceiling that Heimer had, that disappears now. So that's gonna lower his win rate, everything. He won't roll over his opponents anymore. And then there will be other late game decks that just are more consistent.
Okay.
Yep.
That's my
good
take on
it.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Might be wrong. But
we will see. Okay.
But Overwhelm's great. It's just not elusive great.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
that's my take on it.
Yeah.
Overwhelm, okay. but you're still not.
Yeah, I hope they hit elusive at some
I can
point.
block your overwhelm, if you know what I mean. I can block your elusives.
Yeah.
So you can do something against it, but elusive button. Okay.
Yeah, just hits. Okay, we have some Dredger, and his cost is increased from 2 to 3 because he got buffed. You don't have to discard a card anymore. You discard a card anymore, but you draw a card as well. So the downside got better, but the cost is higher.
I think that's a nerf to the card.
I agree.
Really?
Because you don't play it unless in a deck that you actually want to run out of cards. And to be able to play a 2 cost unit with 4 and 3, that's insane. A lot of pressure you can put out in round 2.
Yeah.
That disappears. So I think they screwed up majorly with that. That's my gut reaction. I might be wrong.
You could put him in a Twisted Fate deck to get more draw effects.
With Twisted Fate, he becomes better. I'm always thinking in the concept of Jinx, I guess.
Okay.
But that's true. Yeah. For Twisted Fate, better for sure. But it's just the power of having a 4/3 for 2 in round 2. That's nuts.
Yeah.
It's not as cool in round 3.
Absolutely not.
No. No.
So we'll see, like, if that draw an extra card helps, but I feel like that's a nerf. An unintended nerf, but they have got done that game testing, so they might be onto something.
Yeah.
I can see somebody quite honestly dropping 3 of each of these in like a Twisted Fate deck.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you go out and build a Twisted Fate build over deck, please. We have another video.
I will certainly try and do that when the patch goes live, but I am not at the moment a big fan of discarding cards from my deck.
Yeah.
Like it's just it takes some like as a deck builder, I want the 40 cards and I will want them to do a certain thing. You know, to be honest, you can make a deep deck and put these guys in as well, and you're just discarding things and drawing things, and it'll help that. It'll help Twisted Fate, and outside of that, they'll never get played.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah. Okay. So let's. There we have another card. It's a Zonite Urkin, and here's not the last breath anymore. It's the same thing. You discard 1 and draw 1. So maybe we see a new keyword upcoming here, because they like keywords.
Yeah, they like
maybe.
Yeah. I think that's just a straight up buff.
Yeah.
If it's enough to push things into the meta, I don't know, but that's a good change.
Yeah.
I don't mind at all.
Yeah, it's a good change up.
Yeah. And we have the Shadow Assassin, huge one, I think.
Yeah, that's a huge one. Yeah. She was one of the best 3-drops in the game. Now, still good, but paying 3 for 1 and 2 is she doesn't generate the pressure she did before. At least. She's still elusive, so she would get things.
Yeah, and the draw effect is where you play her, right? In the most decks.
Yeah. In most decks, yeah. So she'll still be around, I think, but people running elusive is going to be a little bit sadder about it.
So
I will never play her.
Really?
There you go.
You will remove her from all your decks?
I will now. A 1-cost elusive is just pointless. Because the only benefit of putting that card out for 3 mana is the fact that she was a 2/2 and drew a card. That's decent. That's okay.
Yeah.
But you can solitary monk for a 3/3 for the same cost. Why the hell would you use this?
Like, the solitary monk, you need to like have things set up. If you have 3 units already, you can play that one realistically. I think Shadow Assassin was bananas before this.
Oh, she was amazing, but R.I.P. She's dead. We only knew her first. Oh, she is dead. So, she is absolutely dead.
So if they had changed the health instead of the power, would that?
No, No. I think. Oh, yeah, because it's elusive, it might be in normal units. I value the health over the power, but in elusive, it's probably the opposite. So yeah.
It's the opposite. Yeah. You wouldn't be going in and hitting hard and slipping through and coming back. That's the whole point of elusives. You know, you can have like the best Demacia on curve deck on Earth. We don't care. We're hitting you for 8.
Yeah.
You know, and now that's now a 7. If you have 3 of them instead of hitting for 6, you're only hitting for 3.
Yeah, and that's also a nerf to
mana
hybrid.
efficient.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
So, you heard it here first. Remove that card from your decks.
I'm not gonna go that far.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think she has any mana value at all for 3. If they're going to reduce her down to 1, she should be a 2-cost unit. Because paying 3 for a 1/2 is just ridiculous.
The card. If she was
look at that. Look at the Zanite one above it. It's a 2/1/1 cost.
Yeah.
3 cost 4/3.
Yeah,
but just 1 damage.
Yeah, it draws a card. If this would be a 1 and 2 for 2 and draw a card, that would be even better than now. That would be crazy. So that you can't do that. So I don't know. I think if you play elusive, you're still gonna run her. I think so, because it's so good to draw more cards. Because the card draw in this game is not. It's not as good as in Destiny.
No. No, it's not.
But I would. She could be dead. Like she could be.
Okay.
If
Again,
I'll rephrase it. I'll rephrase it. She's had a kicking and is lying in a gutter, waiting to die.
Okay.
That's where she is right now.
Okay. So our solution is, together we'll see how that changes things. And we have another buff, which is Steel Tempest. Cost got reduced from 3 to 1, and I think that's a big thing. It was in my Yasuo deck.
Yeah, I think that's a huge buff, man. Not nerf, buff. I'm really excited for that card. Don't really know exactly how I'm gonna run it or anything, but that seems like a card that could get in most decks.
Yeah,
Control
especially
decks.
with all these big overwhelm units, you can just stop them for 2. That's huge. For 3, it was good as well. So maybe we have to look at that card.
Yeah, for 3 it was okay, unless you played Yasuo, then it was great.
Yeah.
Now for 2, it's probably pretty good, and with Yasuo, amazing. So maybe a Yasuo deck, like you play 3 Yasuo and 3 of this card, that could be pretty nice.
Yeah, and the fact that it is actually his champion spell.
Yeah.
You know, so there's, you're gonna level up Yasuo real quick, a lot cheaper. I think it's superb. It's a great buff.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and stun is not something oppressive in the meta right now. So if stunning comes in a little bit more, that's just a new flavor to the game.
Yeah. So it can do what Will of Ionia did in some cases, where you have to stop a special unit, and here you go for 2. It's great.
Yeah, and and having powerful spells with low cost is always great. You can always bait out, and people eventually can't even play around it because it takes too long time.
And it's
so
fast.
I like it.
You can still interact with it. So let's go to the next one. We have the River Shaper, and it got buffed from 1 health to 2. That's a huge buff, isn't it?
Yeah, getting extra health is major. I think
maybe he can strike twice then. Usually he strikes 1, and if he strikes twice, he gets a lot of value here.
Yeah. My issue with him is that by round 3 and 4, they will probably be able to kill him with a block. But it might be. But to be fair, he might. Sometimes he might be able to hit twice. Like, it's still better. I just don't know if his effect is good enough.
I think he'd be really effective in 2 decks. Anything running spells that are spell heavy. So Karma decks, Ezreal decks, fizz, anything like that, I think this will be an auto-include, because then you're drawing a spell. So if you're running fizz can't get touched by a spell, or you know, doubling up on karma. You know what I mean? It's so damn good. I think with things like that, it'll fit in quite nicely, and the extra power, yeah, really good. I like that.
Yeah, because he's now, if you just look at it, if you take the Shadow Assassin, she was a 2/2 before. He's a 2/2. She drew a card right away. He will do one when he strikes, so he's probably gonna die to get that spell. So it's like he's worse than the Shadow Assassin was, but he has the potential that he could get 2 cards. Yeah. And if he gets the 2 cards, that's actually better than the Shadow Assassin in value.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Especially because those are specific cards. You know what's coming, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have one of my favorite nerf here. The greatest nerf, Will of Ionia, is a 5-cost now. I hate that card.
I think that nerf is stupid.
Really?
I don't like it.
What? What? Explain.
Because if you listen to the Twin Suns podcast when they talked with the game designer, they talked about staple cards in their regions, cards that was really important. Like for Shadow Isles, it's the Glimpse of Beyond. That card is so stupid. It's so good, but that's a staple card to the region, so they don't really want to mess with them. And I feel like Will of Ionia and Deny is those cards for Ionia that really makes. That's one of the big reasons you look at that region. For anything, like to have those cards. And I think that Will of Ionia wasn't that big of a problem. It was nasty for deep, and that doesn't mind me at all. At all. And it's nasty for the ones that putting out these big units like Sejuani, deep, maybe Anivia at some point, but they don't care too much about it. So I don't feel like it. I feel it was kind of balanced for 4. It hurt, but it wasn't like, oh, now I'm dead unless I played a Nautilus. I think it wasn't too I'm getting stuck in my throat. I didn't feel like it was so oppressive when people played it against me.
Would you still play it for 5?
For 5? I don't know. I guess they assume that I would, because otherwise they wouldn't nerf it. But 5 is expensive. 5 is expensive. Because like let's say if you Will of Ionia something that costs 4, then you go even in mana, and it's not a lot that costs 5, so you go in even trade. So I don't know.
What do you think, Sam?
I think it needed it. I really did think it needed it. And as you were pointing out in that podcast, everyone was waiting for them to go under 4 mana to stop wills and to stop denies. We're still going to have to wait until they go under 4 mana because deny is still 4.
Yeah.
But that is just allowing so many more deck building opportunities now with that 1 increase in cost. I absolutely love it. I really genuinely think it'll still get played, in my opinion, and it's such a great card that needs played. But its mana efficiency is now plummeted.
It's hurt,
like you were saying, and it's really hurt it. So people will still play it, but if you've got a big unit out and they've only got 4 mana, you know it's staying on the board.
Yeah.
That's huge. So as you're saying, your Swajani, your Ledros, your Nautilus, your big bloody units, you're grand. You're absolutely grand.
And I think that in the context that Karma Ezreal is a big issue in the meta, in a high elo at least, it's a very hard executed deck. So if you play it in like gold, you probably don't feel it be too good. And it's a good hit to that deck. But there is a lot of Shadow Isle cards that needed to get hit, and way before this one. So I'm really disappointed about this overall.
Sounds like a very subjective opinion.
Okay, so you've heard our 2 things. What do you?
Me? I think that's a good thing they did that. And since I like to play these combo-ish mid-late game decks, and when they always take away your main piece, I hate it, and that's for me subjectively. Since I don't like you, I'm so humble. I don't like these aggro games. They're too fast for me. I like to build up and then get some interaction. And Will of Ionia throws such a big wrench in my engine.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
And to be
even
fair,
if I play it myself, I usually It's
to be fair, I like the mid-range kind of decks more. It's just like they're not really viable anymore, so that's why I tend to go to aggro. But yeah, I feel you. Like I think it is a little bit like the Crimson, like the Noxus nerf. It is good in a vacuum, but because they didn't hit a lot of other things that needed to be hit, it might cause some problems. Like. It will. I see the nerf. It's played 3 of in every Ionia deck, so
yeah.
Like just like in front of that, I guess that's enough to get nerfed.
Yeah. So maybe reduce to 2. That's our solution. Reduce to 2 Will of Ionias then.
Probably there will probably only be 2 Will of Ionias, like they did before in the beta when Deny cost 3. That was a 3-up. That was insane. They buffed it. They nerfed it to a 4, and people started running 1 or 2 of it instead.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. So
I'd say they'll both go to 2 each and still get played.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If the card still gets played, that was a good nerf. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And then we have the Golden Narwhal, not seen very often, and they reduced his cost to 2 and therefore reduced his health to 3. So that's intended as a buff.
It is a buff, because 1 cost for 1 health that's a good trade-off. And the 2 and 3 is pretty good, like for 2, and it has elusive, so it's a good card now for 2. Problem is that it's Bilgewater and they don't really run elusive decks, so it would probably not be played anyway.
Yeah, it's basically because the next thing, Hunting Fleet summons that card for your opponent, which is a 4 cost now, and power got reduced therefore to 6 and health as well. So
yeah, so I think
the card
overall,
your opponent gets got nerfed.
Better. Better, right?
Yeah, but for the opponent, if he doesn't have to pay, it's nerfed.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. Sorry. Yeah, that it is. Sorry.
So maybe we will see the Hunting Fleet now. I didn't see it before.
No, I only saw it in Expeditions. Now for 4, it might be easier to slot it in. The problem, as I said, is it that it is in Bilgewater, because they tend to play very specific things. Like either you go hardcore deep, and it doesn't really fit, or you go for the plunder package and then it doesn't really fit either. Maybe now as a 4.
Yeah, and it's not a monster. So, but if you play MF, you play her a lot. Sometimes you want to, sometimes you want to just to attack to proc her, and then you can draw in the Narwhal. So maybe there's something in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it does help the plunder because it's elusive, and if you don't have any elusive things in there, bang, you've hit the Nexus, all your plunder effects are alright.
Yeah. The Golden Narwhal helps you if you just play that card. The Haunting Fleet in itself doesn't really help plunder.
No, it doesn't. It's just a 6/6.
Yeah, but a 6/6 for 4, it's actually
it's overstabbed.
Yeah, he's gonna be rough to hit, and now he can't get Will of Ionia when he hit the board. 4. So
no. Hurrah for Hunting Fleet!
So he's gonna have a way better time.
Yeah, but we will probably not see this card, is what you say, because deep decks play monsters and the other ones play other cards. too many other options.
It's not because it's bad. It's just because it doesn't really fit the house, the region, that good.
Yeah.
But
maybe
in expeditions, we will see that card.
Yeah.
So
that gotta be great in expeditions. I would assume now.
Yeah,
So-
that'll be superb.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the cards. We are back to Heimerdinger, and that's the moment when we just. You said Heimerdinger will not be an S tier anymore.
Don't think so.
We talked about. I think we talked enough about that. So let's end it with that. We will see how Heimerdinger will. We will all try it out, and we will see how Heimerdinger will compete.
Yeah, sure. We will all try it out. I think I'm just gonna skip trying and spare myself the pain.
Yeah.
I haven't touched him in a while, and I think I'm gonna keep doing that. To be honest. And
I love the dongers. I mean, that's why we are the dongers of Runeterra. But my God, he's a meme deck now.
Yeah, I'm going to practice a lot of Shadow Isle. I suck at it, and I think that's gonna ruin and dominate the meta for the next 2 weeks. So
Okay.
Demacia and Shadow Isles, that's the two. They got hardly touched at all. Well, Shadow Isles didn't get touched.
Nothing. They didn't get touched at all, and Shadow Isle was one of the best regions. Demacia was one of the worst. So I get them. That would be to kick on the one that's on the floor, but. I think that they have some crazy love for Shadow Isle in the design room.
Good. I love them for it.
I think either that or someone bribed them, some rich kid's father or something that really loved the region. I don't know. Yeah, it's insane that they didn't get hit. But yeah, that's how it is. So I need to learn to play it. So that's gonna be my focus point, I guess.
So if you guys have any suggestions, you can leave them down in the comments, and check our Discord channel, check our Twitch, check our everything, and we hope you like our content. If you do, check the links in the description, and we'll see you then. Dongers out.
Dong is
Guess
out.
what?